3 jobs?
Yeah. So this is why we've got a nice short one to start with. So yeah, we're going to be talking, as we get up and running tonight, once we get on the road properly, we will be discussing the fact that this week it is 10 years since the launch of ETS2.
Absolutely.
2012.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Well,
it?
that's what when we were discussing it the other week, is what we said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's also going to be later, I think it's next year is the 25th anniversary of STS.
Yep. Well, they...
Right, where are we going?
They've been around
They
for a while.
Yeah, 25 years. Or 24 years.
Yeah, but considering the like this game, and I'll cover it soon. It's a strange, unusual business model that has proven quite popular for them.
It actually came. I was in their live stream, the birthday live stream the other night.
Yeah.
And it was quite surprising hearing the CEO talk when when this game launched, it was still part of the boxed game generation. You know, Steam was only just in its infancy, and at the time they only released 10 games a month on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think about how many games they release daily now.
I know.
So what they're saying is when they first launched, you know, they expected it to be, because you know, you think, as we said before, they had all the different, you know, truck titles before.
We could have just gone straight across that roundabout.
We're not going straight across though.
Oh, okay.
We're turning.
Just stuck behind red.
So you know, that's why they had so many different games at that point, is because that, you know, a game was only popular whilst it was on the shelf.
Well, yeah.
You know, as soon as you wanted the space for something else. Where's the job? Where's the job? Oh, I'm on the wrong section. That's why. Freight market. That's why. Want. And the job's expired.
Oh.
Oh well, we're going to go to Madrid. We're going to take a slightly longer job then.
Okay.
That's 450 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, there's absolutely. Hang on a minute. Job market. Freight market. Yeah, market. See, that's how quick the job market changes.
Yeah.
All the jobs that we had lined up before, so we're gonna have to take a longer job.
Fair enough.
Because I've even tried Faro as well.
Yeah.
And even there's just nothing. So it's 450. Oh, and that's the wrong one. We want. No. We're going to be going to Madrid again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a quite nice drive.
Yeah.
Cars.
Cars.
Can I actually customize the trailer?
Where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? There's the trailer.
Yeah, can't really match it colour-wise, but it'll do.
Ready to roll.
Help if I take the parking brake off, wouldn't it?
Oh, this is a interesting pickup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not a straight loading bay.
Okay, I'll Okay, my job's... Never mind, I'll wait a minute, because my job's... not where you've come from, so... I do like free cam. See, I remember...
Beeping at me.
Not me. I remember SCS games like, obviously, there was Bus Driver and then...
Well, no, they were always founded on trucking games.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but they had...
The 18 Wheels of Steel and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But they did have Bus Driver.
Yes, that came after
I
all of
didn't.
those.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it, that one?
You've got the contract. Now go.
But as I said, it's
the manual gear changing, Chris.
Keyboard, yeah.
even on keyboard again.
Take the third exit.
Oh, red light. I've got my first flight of the night. Oh, there's a bus stop here. Oh, look, perfect place for me to pull in. Well, wait for you too.
Yeah, well, I think I had... probably in the loft, actually. All, or most of the 18 wheels.
Yeah. Here's a trivia question for you. See if you know how much you know about ETS2. So when ETS2 became available, where was the first copy of the game sold? When it was first available digitally, where was the first copy sold? Which country?
I'm actually going to say Germany.
Yeah, it's I think Germany.
You're both wrong.
Right.
Hmm.
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Oh, right, okay.
And in the first 10 copies sold, not one was sold in the same country.
Oh, right, okay.
Right.
I think
As I
Arash...
said, there was some interesting facts that came out that other night. Right, I can start rolling.
I just again get stuck behind the line, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's interesting, the fact that it was New Zealand.
Right. Then exit right.
Yeah, it was strange.
Well, it was. I mean, as I said, because the ETS2 originally came out on, as I said, in one of the box games, and it was on. As I said, they never expected it to take off the way it did, because if you look back at all those games, they never had a massive shelf life.
No.
You know, you think of games, you know, from, you know, going back 10 years even, right? How many games from 10 years ago, apart from probably maybe World of Warcraft, and most games that from those have either moved on to newer versions or just completely gone. You know, Football Manager is a prime example. It's on newer versions.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, newer versions.
Command and Conquer is...
Yeah. But again, Command and Conquer was a boxed game.
Yep. I have...
You know, you'd go into the shops and you'd look and see what the latest, you know, title that was going to, you know, blow your mind.
Yeah, because
And
the gaming charts.
yeah, but the gaming charts, but also you look at the physical copies of the games on the shelf and go, oh, and the box art used to be something. And what did you get included in the box? And
Yeah.
all this sort of stuff used to matter. And now, I mean, I kind of miss those days in some ways.
Mm.
Because you used to get some really cool bits.
I mean, the
I mean,
last
I've
boxed game I think I got was actually Farming Sim 22. I got the collector's edition because you couldn't. That was the only way you could get it. Well, at the time, that the pre-order with what you got with it was the only did box because obviously you can't get.
but I mean, it's like the last. I mean, But back in those days, I mean, it wasn't even buying special editions. It was just buying the standard version of the game. And I remember buying Football Manager and getting a book that you could write down all your different teams in.
Yeah.
A proper hardbound book. Or you'd quite often get T-shirts with games. You'd get, postcards and things like that. So it's definitely been changed days since back then. But they said ETS2 was probably kind of heading towards the off-the-shelf section when it got its new lease of life on Steam.
Yeah.
And it's now quite frightening how many copies of it they sell. And you think about it, it's still selling. I mean, you think about Arash, you're probably one of the newer players in the game.
Well, yeah.
You think about it. I mean, you haven't been. How long have you been playing this game now?
Probably 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but you probably only seriously this year because you hadn't done that much beforehand, had you?
No. Absolutely.
And that's the thing, is that this game is kind of that thing, is that you can pick it up and leave it and come back to it and all that. I mean, I can't remember how long I've been playing it. I know I wasn't at the start. But I mean, I'd probably say about 6 or 7 years on and off I've played it.
Right.
I started on disc.
On this.
Yep.
No, I think I was definitely digital. I was digital.
I got ETS2 on disc because I also got the Going East and Scandinavian expansions on disc, and then I moved over to Steam.
Right.
So I've been with the game. Yeah.
Kind of ringing a bell actually. I might have actually done the same. Did I buy the disc somewhere when I saw it when I was out and about?
I bought mine off Amazon.
I might have bought mine when I was out and about sometime, actually, thinking on it.
Yeah.
Unizok, good evening. How are you, my friend? Hope you have a nice weekend as well. I'll have a nice weekend if I can get through this session without just really destroying another truck. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those games. As I said, is
Here comes the rain.
Here comes what?
The rain.
I don't have it, but
I don't have it either. That's good. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. It's nice to know someone in this community is fine.
I don't like using that word anymore.
What, fine?
Yeah.
Why?
To be honest, I'll admit it. After what my shrink told me, after what my counsellor told me of the other version, because I kept using the word fine to them all the time.
Yeah. It's like the usual thing. It's like when you ask somebody, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah.
You can't be great all the time, right? We've got roadworks coming up.
Okay.
Alright.
Right, you can stay there, Mr. Truck, because I'm going faster than you are.
Don't pull in, truck. Okay. Yeah, but the way that I think that was their reason of me to stop saying I'm fine all the time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that you find a lot of places do. And I must admit, you know yourself, there's conversations, you slow down, you horrible thing.
I just see this truck going a bit weird in front of me.
Yeah, that's mine. No, because the truck, there's a there was a you'll see this tanker,
Yeah.
and there's a car that was going past it, and as it pulled out to go past it, both of them decided to hit their brakes.
Ah, okay.
Keep left.
So of course I had to dive one way and then dive the other way to find then that the car had moved back across and was blocking me again. But I managed to get through it without any damage, so that's quite good. Right, put the foot down.
Seems weird having 3 windscreen wipers.
The one thing with this truck, it is a bit weird like that.
I don't have any rain yet. Why?
I don't either.
Yeah. That's the thing,
Oh,
my
the speed limits are up and down on this road, aren't they?
yeah, my rain will stop and used to will get it. Because my rain's now stopping.
Oh, they've got clear skies.
Keep left.
Yeah.
Make sure he stays over there.
The gas prices in the game, they actually altered, didn't
Good evening,
they?
C. Keith.
And then exit
How's the
right.
gas prices in the game? Yeah, fluctuating.
Exit
Good,
right.
mate. Good. Just trying to not crash. I don't know why I'm actually sitting forward.
Don't know.
Keep right.
Right. Why did I go to automatically all the way out to the outside lane? Oh, what are you doing, Mr. Blue Car?
We need to be...
Right, we are barreling it down. No, this game. I mean, it's been. I've been doing. I've been doing YouTube for 5 years in January, and it's been one of those games that's been on and off the channel for that entire 5 years. It's responsible for the 2 biggest videos on the channel.
Yeah.
So the 2 skinning videos. And as it is, we've done live streams and we've done all sorts of things with it. It's just such a clever game, and it's going to be interesting what they go next. I was actually looking at some of the bits with some of the stuff they've released for the next DLC. Some of the pictures. I don't know if you've seen them on Steam.
Yeah.
Because it's the going west, going east.
Going to the Balkans, West Balkans.
Balkans. And they were showing that there's in the Balkans, of course, religion's a big part of the nation's fabric.
Keep left.
So they were showing all the different types of churches and all that, and respecting all the different religions and all that in the game, or in the community, in the world. And I thought that's an actually clever touch.
Yeah.
You know, when you start going into that sort of detail.
I mean, I know this is not... it's still the same, sort of, by the same company, but I'm looking forward to Texas. DLC for
I
it.
don't. The
for
problem,
American Truck Sim.
the problem I have with American Truck Sim is the roads are pretty much. They just feel all the same. Oh, okay, what are you doing? Why do I keep finding the cars that want to chop and change?
Don't know, you looked a bit...
No problem, mate. You have a nice evening as well, mate.
You looked like you were wandering a little bit there.
Yes, I had a car swerving in front of me,
The car was along...
and he slowed down again.
It was kind of weird because the car was along...
You see the car I'm overtaking.
Oh yeah, I was in the car you were overtaking, but you were alongside him when I saw you sort of wandering.
Well, I was wondering where he was going.
I mean, like I said,
I was never.
You were what?
I was always behind him. I was never alongside him until just now.
Or was he alongside you? No idea. Like I said, I don't mind American Truck Sim,
Keep left.
but it's it's just a slight change from obviously ETS2 just driving the same sort of, well, not the same sort of roads, but
I don't know. I have probably more of a love-hate relationship with ATS than ETS.
It's probably because you have to stop at more way bridges on ATS.
No, it's not that. I just don't know what it is. I don't know whether it. Think a lot of the time. I think with ATS is they've with the way they've scaled the world. It's a lot smaller, and it's, you know, if you think about it, you can drive quite quickly from like the very north of the map to the very south of the map.
Right.
Where with this it takes a lot longer.
I didn't think they had scaled
Yeah, they have.
ATS.
Keep left.
The maps, all these, it's like Europe scaled as well.
Well,
They're hitting the brakes again.
I am looking forward to the Texas DLC, but I'm also definitely looking forward to the West Balkan DLC, just because
And you know,
it
I hope
looks
they get, because it's,
very
as
pretty.
they said in the live stream, they have got plans to rework the UK. Now that could be brilliant.
That would be nice. It's long overdue an overhaul.
Oh, they've said that themselves. They thought by now they'd have done it. But the problem is, you know, they've never expected to still be doing the same game 10 years later.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Now, I'm getting confused. Why are all these trucks going so slow? You know, it's not just
damage.
it's not
Chris.
just one.
What?
Did you receive any damage?
No.
Right. I thought you crashed.
No.
I'm just thinking he's put the brakes on because he's disappeared off my map.
Yeah. Wait.
Dangerous road.
Waiting to get past a truck. I mean, you wouldn't have expected ETS to survive if, I mean, you know, look at, like, you know, you had Euro Truck Simulator at first, and then you had ETS 2. But what I think has made ETS 2 so popular and so good, and keep its shelf life, is the modding community again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It is.
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, definitely. I mean, it's one of the things. They made a game that modding was perfect for, and people like to put their own stamp on things.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yes. If you think about it, we're not running any mods per se in this,
No.
but each of the people, and then saying this is the best example of it is, all three of us are running exactly the same truck, but none of them look the same.
Yeah. That's what you said before.
That's what I said before the stream, yes.
Yeah.
But this is now on the stream. So, but as I said, that's the great thing, you know, example of this game is the fact that, you know, yes, we're running the same cancer awareness skins, but the two different styles.
Keep left.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually looking at it, saying when they were doing the giveaway in the stream, and there was a couple of bits. I mean, yes, we also the steering wheel I think was the highlight that everyone knew about.
Yeah.
There's a crash coming up, by the way.
Okay.
Just hit the outside lane and you'll be fine.
Going on the outside lane.
So they gave away a couple of base keys. They gave away some T-shirts which you can't buy anymore.
Yeah.
They gave away the steam up, but the one unique bit, and I think when it fascinated me was basically a master key for the game. So it basically unlocks every DLC that's available for this game.
Yeah.
So the base game and all the DLCs, and every future DLC as well.
It's the only way that we're going to use mods, you want to say.
Huh?
It's the only way that we are have access to the mods to have all of these DLCs and feature DLCs also. That's what
No. That's nothing to do with modding. Nothing to do with modding at all. This is the fact that there's to me that key is more valuable than a limited edition steering wheel. Because
Yeah,
if you think about
rather
it,
than
that
it
key is everything to do with this game for the rest of time.
until they stop. Yeah.
So if they're still doing this, if they do a DLC every year, one big DLC every year, think how much money that would save you.
a lot of money.
You think about how many, I think there's something like 90 odd possible DLCs for this game.
Alright.
It's I can't remember the price. It was nearly £200 if you hadn't got all the DLCs, wasn't it?
But it is, as they said, there's not many of those keys in existence.
No.
And I said there's some lucky sod won one the other night.
Oof.
So jealous.
Like I said, yeah. To me, the steering wheel thing wouldn't bother me because I already own that steering wheel. Yes, it's probably it's may have been something.
You may use it again sometime.
I will do. I've got plans for future content coming up with that steering wheel, so yeah. I might.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, to have.
Going back to Arash's thing. Going back to Arash's thing with mods. The reason this in is we're not running mods is it makes it easier for the game to run more smooth and efficient. If you think about it, if we run mods with your internet connection, Arash, it would cause issues.
We should, if you're going to check it, we don't.
It will
actually. Yeah, I had the most internet connection recently, but right now, I think I don't going to have any weird connection.
But that's the thing is, I'd rather we ran a sensible connection 100% of the time than risk adding something that puts more stress on it. You know what I mean? Because also the fact is, I have to have a connection. I remember, I'm not just, you guys are connected to me in this game, but I'm also connected to YouTube so I can stream it.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I keep enough bandwidth for that. And the last thing I want then is to add more really to it unnecessarily. That's why with Satisfactory, I don't run it.
No.
That is running on a separate server. So me and Chris both can connect into it. So all I'm doing is one outward connection. If this game ran on a separate server, then it'd be ideal. We could put mods in and out of it, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever got round to doing that though, did they?
No, they haven't.
And I'm not gonna say never say. I'm not going to say that they never will, but I think if they were going to, they would possibly.
This game would be ideal. This game would be ideal for something like that.
Well, yeah.
You could really build a community around this game then. I mean, I know there is the Truckers MP.
Yes.
But I mean, the amount of times that I've watched bits where people have tried to do bits with that, and as soon as people know they're on, there, they go on there and ruin it. Or you get to a port and you may as well give up.
Because there's a certain road on Truckers MP that is always busy, and it's one of the Europe roads.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get stuck from that busy roads, you're going to have the really worst.
Oh, but the thing is, you watch the ports in likes of France and in Holland, You know, where all the trucks are coming across from the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, give up.
Hmm.
Give up. I mean, I think one guy said, looked at it, and he said there was like 400 trucks in one port. And he was, and he was a small streamer trying to stream, but as soon as people knew where he was, they all turned up there.
Yeah.
I think Calais is the crowded place. Truckers and people.
Yeah.
I just.
So, I think if they could get this multiplayer to work on a server, and you think of it, it's not long since we've had Convoy being able to do it this way.
Yeah.
And this way, I think they've done really, really well with it.
But they are. Aren't they planning to add so you can have more people anyways?
Yes. But the thing is, though, to me, that means you're in a way gearing towards having a service.
Hmm.
Because if you think of it, if you can get the game running smoothly with, say, 20 people in a convoy
Yeah.
on a computer, then you could run it as a server.
Hmm.
And remember, it's why I said to you the other night, the idea is eventually this game, the World of Trucks, will be the base thing for this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, we've really 73 miles left to go.
Not doing too bad today.
Yeah.
Like I said, we just looked across at the how many miles left. I was like, okay, where's that time gone?
How many miles do you say you got left?
I got like 67 miles to go now.
You're about 5-6 miles behind me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see you up the road, I think. I think you're just in my draw distance.
I haven't even used my cruise control. I've been sitting at top speed now, just haven't even used my cruise control.
Cruise control? What's that? I haven't
Called
even...
right foot hard against the floor.
Like I say, I've not even been using that myself. I mean, there is...
Hey Arash, you haven't managed to catch up with me. What's wrong?
I don't know.
He's behind me.
I think it's
somewhere.
because that I drive with daft trucks.
Well, you should be.
No, I think it's something else as well. Oh wait, you didn't notice before that I was, even when I was doing 40, you couldn't catch up. Speed limiters on.
Unfortunately.
So you've
You
basically...
can load whatever truck you want. You ain't going above 56.
So you had basically found the way how to actually put the false speed limit for everybody on then.
Yes.
I told you it was there and you swore blind at me, it wasn't.
No, it's in this. It was in a part I hadn't noticed.
Ah, but yeah.
I didn't swear blind. I just said I couldn't see it. That's not swearing blind.
I'm pulling your leg.
I'll swear blind at you in a second. Exit, exit, exit. Break.
I bet you have many words in your vocabulary, Leon. I bet you do.
What, the things like you're a tosser?
Much worse.
Oh yeah. I can do that because at the moment there's hardly any. There's basically no one watching. I know Vicky is hoping to make an appearance at some point tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that.
She messaged me earlier.
Keep left.
Right.
But
Keep an eye out for the burnabout.
Is that roundabout? Alright.
yeah, we're going over.
Burnabout.
No. Oh, right.
Not a roundabout, the burnabout.
Roundabout.
We're still on.
Keep left.
Trying to think of somewhere where we could. We passed a viewpoint earlier, but are you looking
It was
for?
dark.
Right.
I know, but are you looking for a viewpoint? Oh god, we're coming off here.
No, I don't want a viewpoint. I just want a decent place for a photo.
Fair enough.
Exit right.
Right.
Left.
Did you slow down or something, Leon? Because I seem to gain massively back on you.
I slowed down.
Ah, fair enough.
Keep
I was
left.
being nice. Also, the fact I was obeying the speed limits.
I was hitting 56. I can't go any faster.
Yes, but we haven't been in the 56 zone for a while.
No idea.
So you got fightings turned off as well then. Give yourself away there, Chris.
I shouldn't
Turn right.
have. I shouldn't have had fines turned off. It should be on. I'll check in a minute.
No, Arash hasn't
Go
turned them on.
straight.
Whoa, that's an X.
At the roundabout.
This is an interesting little area.
Next exit.
I think
Exit now.
Oh, okay, I just hit the roundabout. My front left hit the roundabout.
This is quite cool. This is actually quite a cool area.
Hmm.
Oh, we've got a gate ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you asked about beacons, and like I say, it was the gate from the service centre that we pulled out of earlier. No, 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 no. Okay. There we go. They like the gates in this part of the world, don't they?
Get ready to turn left.
it's one of those dangerous
Turn left.
things.
Why did it... Okay, I'm confused. Why did it make you go all the way down here when there was a second entrance there?
Because that's where the beacon thing is for this area.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
We're here.
Okay, so
Right
my
on
drop
time.
off is over here. And I've completely gone about this the wrong way. There we go. Oh look, we're carrying Skodas. Other
I was
brands.
expecting Spain.
Other brands are available. That's a poll. I get why the cars aren't licensed and stuff like that, because it would just cost them more to license like individual cars and...
Right, we want to try someone in Spain. Where's that? Oh god, that's a long one.
That's bad parking, but it'll do.
We could have a long drive. Oh, it's actually not that long a drive. You spend more time on the ferry than you do. I was looking at this. There's a run to Swansea lemonade, right?
Yeah.
Land distance 490 miles, ferry distance 523 miles.
So yeah, you spend more time on the ferry.
I'll do that one. That's in Italy. Corona. Rochelle, Ajaccio, Porto-Vecchio, and that's still Italy.
Remember, I
And
don't
it's-
have the
Yeah.
Italian DLCs,
yeah, I know.
unfortunately.
We know.
Carbon black powder. Port Sagunt. Zaragoza. That's Porter, so actually that'll be the best one to go for. It's only 230 miles.
Wow, that's a hell of a trip. From
Actually, from that, it might actually be a pickup from here. Arash, move because I need to get to the thing to try. Because I think actually to pick up here.
where are you going?
I need to get to the thing to find out.
No, I meant where were you?
I think France is the place, I think.
Oh, there's a job to Leon.
Port Sagunt. There you go. It is actually. We're picking up here.
Oh, okay.
How was that for a fit a skill?
Let's even take the same job then. And then from there to...
We're taking black powder.
Since when did we become pirates? Bad joke.
Pedal to the metal, man.
Sorry, was it a joke?
I was trying to be funny. Yeah. And failed completely.
Get the day job. Right, you picking up then, Arash, as well?
Yeah, I'm just into the loading sense.
Let's do this.